Hello there, theater lovers. My name is Mark Landon Smith with Arts Live Theater, Northwest Arkansas's dedicated youth theater company, where we have been putting young artists center stage for 36 years. We have several opportunities for you to be involved in theater virtually. Check it out at artslivetheater.com. These projects include the Virtual Theater Academy, the Virtual Theater Project, Curtain Up, Family Theater Night, where you can go to Arts Live Theater YouTube page and watch all of your favorite Arts Live Theater productions. We also have Picture This, Living Room Theater, Shaky Bugs, and a new series that we're introducing called Me Interview You Too, where we have two Arts Live Theater actors interview each other. Today's guests are Arts Live Theater actors Brooke Laing and Sean Thorup.
Hello, welcome to ALT Peer Interviews. My name is Sean Thorup. I've been an ALT kid for about 12 years now, and I'm in 11th grade at FHS. And my first ever role, Milo the Mouse in Wizard of Oz.
My name is Brooke Laing. I've been an ALT kid for 3 years. I go to Providence Academy and I'm a senior, and my first show was My Son Pinocchio and I was a horse. So we're going to ask some questions to each other today, and we'll see how it goes.
So what has been, over your years of acting, your favorite show that you've been involved in? And give us a couple reasons why that's just been your favorite.
I got to say, my favorite cast was Wizard of Oz. I think we all got along really well, and I think that's almost what made it more fun.
Yeah.
But my favorite role had to be when I was the silly girl in Beauty and the Beast, for sure.
Ah, okay.
What about you, Sean?
Well, I would have to say probably my favorite show that I've been a part of was Willy Wonka Jr. at Arts Live Theater. And it was just really a novel experience because we did the whole thing in about 2 weeks, and it was a summer show. And you know, it's really about like connecting with your fellow actors and, you know, having that relationship and bond. And it made it a lot of fun. You know, there were a lot of long-term friends that I made from that show. So that was a big reason why it's one of my favorite shows I've ever been in.
Okay. So I know you do a lot of tech, a lot more than me for sure.
I do.
So do you prefer doing tech or do you prefer being on stage?
It depends a lot on the show. Typically, I prefer to act, but in some shows, it's definitely a tech kind of role. Like putting on mic packs and mics isn't the most glorious job in the acting world, but also it's really fun to be up in the box and, you know, like run lights and, you know, just see other actors perform. And I mean, I get into all the shows free, so really my wallet's really thanking me most of the time. What about you? Do you do a lot of tech? And if so, what kind of techs have you done recently?
I'm not really the tech person. If anything, if I'm not on stage, I'm usually backstage wrangling kids.
Yeah.
You know, especially I'm not good with the light. I've never seen a light board, never seen a soundboard. I don't plan to see a light board or a soundboard. So but I definitely do prefer being on stage. And even when I watch a show, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be on stage again.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, you know, one thing that I wanted to ask you about is I know for me that ALT has sort of become a second home, and I was wondering if you've ever considered ALT your second home, and if so, what was that moment that really told you that this was going to be your second home?
I don't know if there was ever a moment that told me ALT was my second home. I definitely think that over the years it's taught me a lot more than I expected a theater to teach me, just because you can walk into Arts Live and everyone will smile at you and everyone will say, hey Brooke, like hey, and so it's just that more the community than the actual second home that I appreciate that Arts Live provides. So what about you, Sean?
Yeah, well, for me, I wouldn't say I could pinpoint it to a moment. but there were multiple moments where I was like, man, this is really, comforting. Like to be able to walk into a space and leave all your baggage and everything going on and just become someone else, and being able to escape for a while just from the mundanity of ordinary reality and homework and school. It's really comforting, and Arts Life Theater has really become a safe environment for all the kids there, and it's something that I think really benefits the community.
Mm-hmm. Okay, with that being said, what's one thing that Arts Live has taught you that you've brought into like the real world or like high school?
Okay. Yeah. So probably one of the biggest things that I learned from Arts Live Theater is just being able to communicate with other people, and not necessarily like in a professional sense all the time, but also just in like a making friends kind of sense. It's so easy to go into Arts Live Theater, and everyone is so welcoming and warm. So it's just so easy to make friends and to have those connections. And then making those connections makes everything just so much better. And that's really a life lesson that has been taught to me, is that you need to go out in the world and make friends, and having friends just makes everything a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say?
I would say Arts Life has definitely taught me that to love everyone no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone can be your friend, and anyone at Arts Life is your friend. Like even if you don't know them truly, they're always kind no matter what your circumstances, what you're going through. If you've had a bad day at school, they'll still give you a hug and treat you like nothing's wrong. And like they don't judge people on specific things and background things. Like it's free for all is not the word, but like they just love everyone. And
I understand what you mean.
Yeah, like I really feel like I've been able to apply that at school, and it's honestly a joyful thing that I love so much.
Mm-hmm. So sort of moving off that topic, do you have like a favorite moment from Arts Live Theater? Like one that you'll be talking to your grandkids about one day?
That's a good question. There's so many, and a lot of them are like those funny inside jokes you create with your friends at shows that you'll forget, but then you'll start talking about them, and you. So more of that. I mean, I could tell you those stories, but no one watching would actually get them because they weren't there.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
What about you?
For me, definitely, I was in Willy Wonka, and I was Grandpa Joe, and I'm sitting on this wooden bed with rollers, and it's got a few blankets and pillows. Really, really pretty uncomfortable for the entire show, but
I know what you're talking about.
They have to pull it out right on stage, and the kid pulling it out, he takes the backboard and he's starting to pull it out, and the bedboard just like the back headrest flew off, and I was leaning up against the headboard, and I went from like straight up, and I just hit the 90-degree angle. It was horrid. But I mean, it was really funny too. I thought it was so funny. But man, it was very memorable.
Okay, with that being said, that's a mistake. What's your favorite mistake?
Oh, well, there have been a lot of mistakes over the many shows I've been in. But I think my favorite mistake that I made, probably along the way, was in Wizard of Oz, actually. And I was talking to you in the Miss Gulch scene, and I said, what I had put in my brain was bitter dog, eh? But then what came out of my mouth was dog, eh? And, it was really just a laughable moment for us all, and it's really just a lot of fun all around.
It's not a laughable moment when you're the one that gets in trouble for forgetting.
It's okay because it was worth it for me, because I got to see the look of pure panic on your face, and that really just warms my heart.
Oh my! I think mine definitely. It's not necessarily a mistake, and people probably didn't even realize it happened, but it was kind of like a panic moment for me was
Mhm.
the Friday night of the Wizard of Oz show.
Yeah.
The paint gun we've been using to make myself green got clogged up, and
Mhm.
so but Miss Jen just like put it in action. Like we started grabbing green eyeshadow and just
Mhm.
putting it all over my face, and we were stealing costume pieces from people and sticking them around my neck that were green. And I think
Mhm.
it was insane because I had to go on. That change was
Yeah.
8 minutes, and
Mhm.
but it ended up
Yeah.
being fine. And then I loved the dog at A moment.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
So let's see.
Okay. So, we're wrapping up. I think we can get in maybe one more question.
Hmm.
So, one that I really wanted to ask you about is if someone were in front of you asking about, you know, hey, my child needs an extracurricular, I just need to get them out of the house after quarantine or something. What would you recommend? Would you recommend Arts Live Theater? And if so, why would you do that?
I would, um,
Mhm.
for sure. But you knew I was gonna say that.
Mhm.
Um, I think Arts Live Theater is just. I mean, obviously you've been in Arts Live Theater for
Yeah.
12 years now.
It's been a
I've
while.
only been in Arts Live Theater for 3 years, and even over
Mhm.
those 3 years, I saw a shift in my personality, and just Arts Life Theater really helped me open up. And it sounds cheesy, but it's a changing thing. Arts Life Theater is
Yeah.
for sure. No
Yeah.
matter, I
It
mean,
is.
it teaches you, even though it's not a team sport. It's always taught me teamwork and how much everyone is valued in the theater community and
Yeah.
the big part that everybody plays.
Yeah. 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 And I would say definitely to add my own spin on what you said, definitely like a valuable experience for everyone. Even if you don't really think you're gonna like theater, it's worth trying a show because it really, I went into my first audition and I was like, man, I really wish I could be home, throwing the football with my dad. But, it's turned into a whole lifetime for me, like 12 years, that's a long time. That's more than a decade. So, it's really had some long lasting life effects, really. And I think that everyone should try out theater.
Hmm.
And with that, we've concluded our Arts Live peer interview. And I
Is
would
there
just like
anything
to,
else you'd like to say, Sean, to the
I
people?
don't, I just don't think so. I mean, I think maybe sign up your kid for some Arts Live theater camps after quarantine ends.
Hey,
Mm.
what show are you going to be doing
Oh my
when
gosh,
quarantine
I'm
ends?
so glad you asked. You see, I'm in this production of Little Mermaid Jr. And, it really would warm my heart if everyone watching would just, mosey on over to artslivetheater.com, purchase a few tickets. We're gonna rework the show. We're gonna get it up and going, and hopefully we'll have it performing in fall of this year.
You know what I would like to do?
What would you like to do, Brooke?
If I was allowed, I would love to be a part of the Shrek summer camp.
Oh, yes, of course. The Shrek Summer Camp.
John Lang will be auditioning, so
Oh, wow. Wouldn't it be fun to have your little kids out the house, doing a good old summer camp? I know I do. I've got a cat. Cat drives me crazy. If I could send him to an Arts Live theater show, oh, I would. Silver Thorup would be in the auditions.
that's your cat's
Mm.
name?
Oh, yeah. He's
Philip
sleeping
Thorup?
right now,
I
but
think Philip Thorup definitely needs a feature in the next Arts Live
I
show.
think he does need to feature in Shrek. hmm
Shrek. He can be Puss in Boots.
He can. He's gonna be so cute.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you all for watching.
Yes.
I
Thank
had
you
fun.
for tuning in. I had a lot of fun, and hope you guys have a good rest of your quarantine.
Yeah, we'll maybe see you soon. you.